Hey, this is Sam with the Nashville Home Guys, and today we're going to go over the home buying process. So let's jump right into it. So step one is to get pre-approved, and it's good to do this early into the process. Sometimes there's minor credit repair that you can make that you can actually um, increase your credit score, which might give you a lower rate. But check with a couple different lenders. And I want to stress that a lender relationship is important. You want to choose somebody that you can communicate effectively with, somebody that's going to give you a good idea of the whole picture, because you're going to be talking to these guys a lot and you want to make sure that you guys can effectively communicate. And a quick tip is to look at more than just rate. Fees can also vary, so it's really important to understand the whole picture of your loan. Step two, once you've done that, is to find a realtor. Check with family and friends for referrals. Look for good reviews and reputations in the area. Definitely check for Google reviews, check for Facebook reviews. Make sure that you check in around the specific area that you're interested in. But also, you want to make sure that you interview whatever prospective agent that you're going to use in person as well. Ask them questions about the market, ask them questions about your specific area, talk to them about how they differ from other realtors, and make sure that your personalities mesh so that you work together well. Once you've established that relationship with your realtor, it is time to start looking. So, I always recommend that my buyers look at a variety of homes, especially my new buyers. A lot of times there are people that think they know the exact style of home that they want, and then they end up buying something completely different. So, it's always good to check out some bungalows, check out some of the newer construction homes in Nashville, check out some ranch style homes. Look at the variety so you can get a feel of the overall floor plan. Make a wants and a needs list. Obviously, there are things that you're going to need out of your home, and then there are things that you're going to want out of your home. And we want to make sure that we get a lot of your needs list checked off, and then hopefully we get to your wants list as well. When I'm looking at homes, I also like to take account of neighboring homes and streets. I always check to see how busy the street is. Is there a sidewalk? If you have kids, how kept up are the houses next to me? It's good just to get a whole picture and not focus intently just on the house. And then also, I know you don't like to hear this, but know that we won't get everything on your list. In a perfect world, I would love to get everything that you want out of a house. However, if we can check off 70%, it's probably a pretty good purchase. Our fourth step is to make an offer. Now, your realtor will help you draft up the offer, or draft up the offer for you. Offer prices are based upon comparables, so we'll look at homes that have sold in the past, hopefully 3 months. If we have to go out 6, we will, in that neighborhood or in that specific area. And then we'll look at similar size, similar finish qualities, and that's how we'll drive the offer price. Purchase price isn't the only negotiating factor. Sometimes sellers need a fast close date, and that's the most important thing to them. Sometimes sellers need to be really flexible because they haven't found a new place to live yet, so they need a buyer that's flexible. That might be a motivating factor for them. So it's really important for your realtor, the one that you choose, to try to get what the motivations or what the important things are for the seller from the listing agent. On this, you're also going to choose a title company. Typically, your realtor has one that they recommend, but a title company is where you're actually going to be closing. And then be prepared for the out-of-pocket expenses incurred throughout the home buying process. So it's not just your down payment coming out of pocket. You have to factor in your earnest money, which is once the offer is accepted, that's the money that you put down to show that you're serious about buying this house. And typically, that is 1% of the purchase price. You'll get that money back once the whole transaction goes through. It'll go back towards your closing costs. But for that contract to close time period, it is going to be an out-of-pocket expense. You're also going to have things like your home inspection, which is $300 to $600 depending on the size of the home. Can be more. and you're also going to have an appraisal, which is $400 to $600. So typically, I tell people $1,500 of investment that you aren't going to get back. And then it's really important to understand that Nashville has a competitive buyer market. We have a lot of buyers. We don't have a ton of inventory. So it's important to talk to your realtor about how you can make your offer as competitive as possible. The fifth step is then, once the contract is agreed upon and you guys are in writing, it is time to get a home inspection. Your realtor should help arrange this. They should recommend some people that they've worked with. You can also do your due diligence on this as well and ask for referrals or ask your net worth for people that they've used. But your realtor will help schedule this with a listing agent, and then they should also be there just to know what's going on with the house. A professional will check for structural problems or things that need fixing, any deficient items, electrical problems, things that you will get back into report at the end of, or usually a couple days after they do the inspection. And then that is what you use to begin to decide what you're going to ask the seller to repair. The repairs you ask for should be centered around safety and deficient items. So if it's an established home, if it's already been built and lived in, things like paint cracks and just minor defects on the walls typically shouldn't be asked for. Now, if it's new construction, that's a totally different ball game. But for established homes and for new homes, everything should be centered around safety and deficient items. Step 6, you probably have already done this by now, but it's important to make the final selection on your loan. So things like locking in your rate, making sure that you're happy with the amount of down payment that you chose, whether you're going FHA or conventional or maybe USDA, VA. All these final selections should be made. Again, this is why a lender relationship is very important, because you'll want to know the advantages and disadvantages of what you're looking at. And then different programs provide different perks. So, low down payment programs, you get to keep more money in pocket. However, your monthly payment's going to be a little bit higher, and vice versa. Step 7, the lender hires a third party to conduct the appraisal. Now, the appraiser is there to let all parties know that you are not paying over the market value for your home. So they're looking at the finishing quality, they're going to look at comps in the area, and then the appraiser is going to put a appraisal amount on that house, or a market worth on that house. And essentially it's saying, okay, let's say you have a $350,000 home. The bank wants to make sure that that is the actual market value of the house. So if the appraisal comes in under that, let's say 345, there are a few things that can happen. Typically, the seller will come down and meet that appraised value because there's not much they can do about it. Sometimes, if it's an extremely hot market, you may have to come out of pocket to meet the difference. So you might have to bring an additional $5,000 to just meet that gap, or maybe split it halfway. If an agreement can't be made, then the actual agreement becomes null and void, and you will get your earnest money back. So you are protected by the appraisal on your offer. Once the appraisal comes in, you will go through your final underwriting, and you'll get a clear to close with your lender, and it is time to close the sale. So get ready to sign some paperwork. The seller will often sign at a different title company, so you won't be sitting across the table from the home that you're or from the people that are selling the home. Those title companies then combine paperwork, and then once the seller has the funds, you can move into your new home. We would love to hear from you, so please email us at team@nashvillehomeguys.com if you have any questions, or if you want us to dive any deeper. But we really look forward to speaking with you, and the Nashville Home Guys will get you moving. Thanks, and talk to you soon.